just need my mic. Okay. Bear with me. Alright. Hopefully that sounds okay. I'll just get the chat up. Yeah, that should be okay. And hey Jeff. David. How are we doing? Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Are we playing? Testing 1 2 3. Yeah, sounds good. 1 2 3. Good stuff. Good. Oh man, it's been chaos. It's been a crazy week. So I haven't really got much to. I know it's not really the best way to start a stream, but I don't have a huge amount to report back on this week. I'm going to give you a bit of an update status. Hey Rob, how you doing? Where the development is at the moment. And then I just thought maybe there might be some topics we could discuss. Maybe you'll talk about. It's just in that initial stage, but let's get everybody in before we really kick off. Star Glider, good to see you. I guess one of the things we could talk about is social media and its role that it has in stuff. Just setting a few bits up and see what people's opinions are. Let me just get out of here. Don't really feel like I've covered the new year either. The coming of 2026. Yeah, Jeff. No, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, it's stuff like YouTube and what content I should be putting out and the time that it takes to do all that stuff. Hey Mark, good to see you. Good to see you. And you know, there's quite a bit involved. Yeah. Well, okay, well, listen. I want to talk about the social media side of things in a minute. Yeah. Never loved it. Dislike it even more after the last week. What happened the last week, Starglider? For content, I think we all want to see the continuation of the Eye of the Beholder. Let's play. Okay, well that's an interesting one. Do people want to see that though? What numbers did that video get? I can't remember. All the X stuff in the news. Horrid. Oh, you mean yes. Yeah, Starglider. Well, it actually looks like stuff may actually be improving in that area for a change. Maybe. Matt, how are you doing? Good to see you. Maybe they might actually be bringing in some rules which could be good. I thought you might finish the... Yes, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I was thinking that I may do it as a video. And see if this looks any better. I may do it as a video, as like a rather than a stream. because I will stream it and record it and then put it up as a YouTube video. One of the reasons being, as you go, when you set out to do something like that, as I've had a few comments, the first half an hour is just chatting and saying hello to everybody and talking about any topics that might come up. So, you know, then we get to the Fighting Fantasy. Maybe I should just do a Fighting Fantasy video. That's not to say I'm not going to stream Fighting Fantasy in the future, but it may be better if I just do a video. It might be easier actually than maybe editing anything or writing a script. I was going to do the video on the survey, and I think I'm still going to do that. I'm just thinking about the approach I'm going to take. So I think I'm going to write a script and then read it, because I ordered some little mics today. I might write a script, read it, maybe and then put some images over it that relate to the different topics. Jeff, I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you, and Eye the Beholder would be good, says Starglider. Okay, I've made a note of that. Eye the Beholder. We'll do another one of those. Oh, thanks, David. Yeah, I would like to think the chats are good. It would be good if we had more people in for the chats. You know, the awesome crew that we have. I think you guys would enjoy some other new people coming in and adding to it, because you guys spark off other people in the chat, you know, and so, but it's a question of whether people are going to be interested to come to see that sort of thing. I personally enjoy just chatting because I don't get to chat to people. I'm quite isolated. I'm quite lonely. But so it's nice for me to come on here and chat with everybody. Hi Paul, good to see you. So Eye of the Beholder is definitely one we'll come back to, but I'm definitely going to do the Scorpion Swan, because the reason why I say it now is not because other people have prompted me to finish it, is because I didn't die. So, you know, that's a good reason. Yeah, so can you take the live stream, then cut the chat and just load up the main part of the separate video? That's a really good question. I don't think so. I think the problem is the size of the files. Now, I think you can download, you can save, you can download the videos. I just don't have a lot of space on my drive, and I wonder whether the quality of the video would be diminished. The Q&A pre-records explaining mechanics was fun as well, with the FB community getting bigger. Is it worth revisiting? Yeah. That is a good question. That is a very good question. Can you take the? Yeah, it could be over quick, Jeff. You're not wrong. I like trying to influence your decisions on Fighting Fantasy, says Mark. The power of your mind. Yeah. Okay. You like them live, is what you're saying. All right. Okay. I hear you. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, look, part of the lull, there is a lull after project funds, in a sense. You're trying to get some content out to some of the testers. Yes, live. Okay. Live. Yeah. Jeff says, look, I think it's tricky. You know, you want to try and put. So this evening, so I'll be brutally honest with you. Today, I was like, right, I want to stream and chat with people, but what am I going to talk about? You know, and I'm not like a celebrity like Matt Culver goes on and just chats away, and hundreds of people turn up and feed the conversation, if you like. You guys are awesome, don't get me wrong, but it's a different sort of environment. So I kind of feel like I need to prep myself a bit like a teacher in a way. What have I got planned to talk about? And I think a lot of people do that. It's like it's how you productively spend that time. And I want to produce content that people want, like you guys want to listen to and want me to talk about. So it's a difficult. A 4-hour live stream explaining how to use bloody Photoshop would be useful. I mean, I guess there are wider fields to look at, aren't there? I mean, look, here's one tip, David. When you're thinking about Photoshop, all right, and you got to think about Photoshop in layers. Okay, it's all about the layers. On the right-hand side, you add layers and work on the separate layers. That's what Photoshop is. Okay. Yeah. Yes, it is. It is a challenge. It is a challenge, but I'm happy just to come on and chat. To be honest, but then I'm thinking, oh, the guys they want to find out what's going on, and I guess I can do a void update. So, so basically, I have written all the rooms. Okay, I've written the biggest table, which is the incidents table, the unexpected events table. I've written a majority of the tables for level 1, and I've now finished the aliens. I've got to finish the guns. I've got, I think, 3 or 4 more guns to put onto cards. So, because I said to testers I'd get it out to them this week, and I'm always setting myself hard targets. And I think that it's going to be Monday or Tuesday, maybe. That's when I'd love to get it out to all the testers. So if you've emailed me and said, yes, I would like to test 2d6 Void, it is coming, and I haven't forgotten about you. It's just I'm trying my hardest. I'm completely absorbed with trying to get this done at the moment. And I've often talked about having 2 projects on the go, and at the moment I don't. It's just purely Void, and that's because I'm writing tables and I'm doing the cards and the design, the layout. So they're different tasks. So they're both absorbing, and I can space the day out by doing some writing till 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and then some design in the afternoon. So that's very much absorbing all my creativity at the moment. I'm knackered at nights. My brain is constantly firing about ideas and challenges, and am I including the right stuff? And I have to create a special crib sheet where I have in front of me, which tells me all the things that I need to include in the level, make sure that I include them. And then I hope like people like Jeff, who's an expert at knowing what needs to go into levels, and Mark picks up all the little things I've missed, with the text, and other guys just testing, the game itself. That's the most important thing. So it's so important that I get this level 1 done, and as soon as possible. It's the foundation to everything, and once that is done and it's out there and I can release it to people, and if you want to play test 2d6 Void, email me at Toby at the top there on the left of the screen, toby@drgames.co.uk, and you will I will add you to the list. I think I've got something like 20 people who have asked to test Void, so that is going to be, it's a good foundation. When I do tests and I send stuff out to people, it's very much about expectations. So people have different expectations. So when a tester receives a document, they're all in very different places. So I had one guy send me an email and say, yeah, I want to be a tester. 2 days later, he sent me another email and said, actually, take me off the list because I've got a whole bunch of stuff just turned up. And that might be the case for everybody. By no means do I expect everybody who I email to send me back a sheet of notes on their testing. You know, and sometimes it's just a question of a couple of lines. If it's like 3 or 4 pages, I read through it avidly, absorbing everything that people say. And one of the things, and the sort of the caveat to all that is, as I'm explaining, there's a lot that goes into the level design, and sometimes people will say, well, why don't you add that or add this or take this out or swap that over? And I'm like, well, there's a bigger picture here that you probably aren't aware of, and so I have to sometimes kindly say no to some changes because I can see coming down the line that just won't fit in. It'd be too powerful in 3 levels, you know, or you know, there's references to something that need to be made, and I've got to make sure I'm not going to leave space in. I've got to have a certain number of rooms which describe certain things, you know, and I can't necessarily fit everything in. So there's loads of things that come into play. But what I do is, one of the key things about playtesting is to get a feel of people's reactions and how they have interacted and enjoyed the game. And you can tell, even when someone's really biased in your favour, and you can tell through how they type, because most of it is through emails, and I can tell how they type, what they really feel, usually, generally, mostly, you know, because I've dealt with that a lot over the years, and also as a teacher, you know, you work with feedback all the time, and yeah, no, that whole grounding of being a teacher has really helped me manage this whole project, because there's a huge amount involved, and I think that I'm quite lucky, and I blow my own trumpet here. I'm pretty good at managing lots of different things, you know, and setting myself daily goals, and I enjoy. It helps that I enjoy doing it, but I also am really hard on myself. You know, I set myself really tough goals, and I almost try to make them impossible. I'm pushing myself each time. The room for complacency, if you work at home, is massive. There's a whole nother room for it, you know. And I try my hardest not to let that be the case. So this week I've worked hard on the tables, and I feel like I've written thousands and thousands of words, and I just need to spend a couple of days putting it into layout. So there are some people here in the chat, some people on the lists who I'm going to be sending some text to over the next day or two. And I like, obviously I want it back as soon as possible, but yeah, I don't want to pressure people into getting it back, because it's my own baby, you know, and I kind of feel like, and people that help me, Mark and Nick and Jeff and everybody else here, David, and when David produces me a map in a day, I am working all the harder for the commitment that people who love these projects give, you know, all that stuff they give. It makes me want to work harder. So you know, if you guys work hard, I'm going to work hard. I'm not going to drop the baton. You know, it's definitely something that I love doing. Someone typed something in chat because I'm just waffling away here. David, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. Hey, we love the waffle. Hey, Dark Morosina. Yeah, it's been an interesting week. It's been on the So just to finish all that bit off there, I think I'm striving for Tuesday or Wednesday to have level 1 done, and we'll get it out. Yes, Jeff says, if I don't have a self-imposed deadline, I would procrastinate. Exactly. It is that. Legendary, says Starglider. All very well said. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. It is... Well, crazy week of work, says David. But doing well, thanks. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad you're doing well. It is... I'm doing well as well. I'm trying to lay down a routine. I really struggle with the chaos of working at home, because people come into your workplace and they don't really recognize it as your workplace. You know, I'm talking about children, but I'm also talking about like the owners of the house and other people that just need to do stuff, and it kind of disrupts my equilibrium. And I'm not very good. Probably my weakest thing is I struggle to remember when things are going to be happening during the day. I've said this before. You know, so I'm not very well organised in that respect. I can bash out 8 hours of work easy, but then someone turns and says to me, "You should have picked that person up at 3 o'clock." I'm like, yeah. A fair few people, David says, got the base game for Christmas. There's been some beautiful level 1 maps appearing on Facebook. You are not kidding, David. You are not kidding. I know, we've got a couple of superstars appearing. Let me have a look, see if I can bring some of that up on here. Been some amazing maps. Flipping out, man. See what we've got here. What have I done? Some beauties. Oh, I'm loving Linda's adventures. Wow. I mean, let's try and add a little bit of a grab here. Look at this. Look at these maps. What I like here, Linda. Let's put it over there for the minute. Look at these beautiful maps in here. Look at that. She's now going into level 9. I have Mayo Mvlol. Mine look like chickens. Listen, you bring your own character to your maps. There's no set format, so to speak. When you're exploring and you're drawing and you're writing and you're making notes, the marks, and it's something I say about art in general anyway, those marks are a record of that moment. And when you look back on your map and all those moments that you put together on that map, it's a beautiful thing. And if they're scratchy, it doesn't matter. They mean the same thing to you, you know. And let's go down a little bit here. What else have we got? That's a very nice map. Bit of void. John's done some amazing maps. Aaron is fleshing it out there. What have we got here? That's Vic again. Another Linda map. The Menagerie. We've got to get to them. they really have. The Star Guide says Linda's maps have been a delight to look over. Absolutely. And this is, I like Linda's setup. How cool is that? Another, the cult. Where's John's gone? Oh, look at that one there. That is a very recognizable style of a very conscientious young man. Young man. And that is David. Now David is doing an expansion. Hey everybody, get your ears on this. The Chained Depths, where you are a prisoner and you break out and then you have to escape the dungeon. Love it, David. Very good. So he's working on that at the moment. And I admire him greatly because it's something that you've never done before, isn't it, David? And I love this style, David's style with the blue there. Very cool. A few levels deep in and find a prisoner. Very cool. So keep your eyes on that on the Facebook page, people. Once he's done it. And David, there's no hurry, my friend. You make sure you get it right. That's always something that I say to people with these things. Right, here we go. So John's maps have been just like so awesome. There's something about John's maps which just really lift off the page. They kind of float. They are little realms. This is a secluded opening. This is from, he's playing the realm expansion now as well. So this is a beautiful, oh, look at this lovely map there. But if we can find, oh, look at that one. Hey, I don't think I've seen that one. Is that, wow. Mega dungeon. Look at that. Sometimes these things slip down and I miss them and I cycle down and wow, that has reached nearly 4,000 people. That is beautiful. Thank you, Mohammed. Look at that mega dungeon. Wow. They're going to be OP. I know the shading on right. And here we go, another Linda one. I think we're going to get down to and another. These are beautiful. I think these could almost be published as a book. These Linda's ones. And then we'll get to the big one. Here we go. Here we go. John's got a little bit of. This is another level one. But we need to get this is his realm map. I want to get a copy of that. That looks fantastic. Good to have you here, Talahar. Just spotted you there. Yeah, it's a bit of just a general discussions stream about stuff. And we've got Randy doing some realm stuff, which is awesome to see. Loving it, loving it. Here we go, John. This is John's new one. But there's a post that John did, and it went viral. Where is it? This is a lovely Randy's maps. I love Randy's approach to it. And he became a legend. Look, here we go. This is level 10. He suddenly decided to go isometric. Fantastic. And where is it? Let's scroll down here. Wow. We get a closer one here. This is Linda's first map there. That looks stunning. And who's that on there? Linda testing it out. I like that. Developing a style. Happy New Year, everybody. And Happy New Year, all you squirrel lovers. Where is it? Sorry, probably giving everybody a headache. Oh, Florian. Inspired by David, I feel. Very nice. When I first saw John's, I thought it was done with an app. This pencil work is immaculate. Beautifully clean lines. I know. I keep meaning to ask John what he does for a profession, because he looks like he's a professional illustrator or something. I've got some nice tile stuff going on here. Dave testing out the tiles. Loving that. Right. I'm going to have to click on John and go directly to his link there, aren't we? So here we go. This is the one, I think. Yes. Where is it? I think this may be... Was it not that one? Was it this one? Doesn't actually say on there how many. I think maybe the format. I think this one. I think it was this one. It got 90,000 hits. 90,000. I mean, it is amazing. That's level. There must be other ones. Sorry, everybody. My computer's not loading now. I could not get my brain to draw the isometric maps, but they are amazing to look at. That actually wasn't the one. That's 6,500. That one. Oh man, don't think I can actually see the big one. The one that got 90. But you know, it's opened up a number of things that have occurred to me. They do look so great. These eyes, they look great. But he did do. I feel a bit annoyed that I haven't been able to get that. Won't let me show it. Oh well. Well, there is there. It is there. John's maps. So that's the Facebook page, everybody. I tried to put. I may actually have the image on here somewhere of the map. No. Florian's done some amazing maps as well. I don't know. Well, if anybody can find that 90,000 hit, then let me know. But it's there. We had basically, so okay, anyway, that aside, right, okay, so it made me think. So when that went viral, we had a big spike in sales in the shop. So, you know, although it's and you have to think about these things as you're moving forward. And suddenly something like that happens, and you're like, right, so that's a nice little tactic. And I guess I kind of wanted to say that by people sharing this stuff, we're building the community, but also they're doing something from their enjoyment that then ultimately does benefit my business. But it's it's a shared process. You know, it's not like they've gone out to sell the company. They've gone out to talk about their enjoyment in a game. And that, in a sense, has a viral effect, and people that are then drawn in. It made me think, I need to be using social media to grow the community more. And I just maybe don't spend enough time. 19th of December, 88,000 views. There you go. Can you put the link in the chat there? Does that work? Does that work? I don't know. And, you know, I thought to myself, so socials. what can I do for socials? I'm thinking, so we have a really good solid base in Facebook, and that has been just amazing. I mean, it has hugely influenced how my business has grown over the last few years with ideas. Oh, thanks Jeff. There, you can all see that. Let me see if I can. Oh. Don't need to worry about that at the moment. All right. But that is there. Just put it on there. So if you want to see that post, that is the one. So, I'm thinking, I don't have any base in Reddit, Discord. I famously fail at doing. Nick handles quite a lot of that for me. I think some of you other guys maybe get on the Discord. I'm not sure. There's occasionally you get an inquiry through. I've tried Discord before and it's never really taken off for other things. But I think to myself, should we have a presence? Should we have 2 to 6 people in a Reddit forum somewhere who can pass on information to people in those forums? Should we have like an appointed Reddit person who goes in, if I'm like, well, there's a big update here, can you disseminate that onto Reddit? For example, I kind of feel like that's wild that if it took off like that, yeah, someone must have shared it in the right place. That is the thing. That is the thing. How do we reach these people? How can we appoint people to that type of role, and what reward would they want for that if that is something that they want? It's a tricky thing. I would like to push information out about these games into other places, and that would benefit me. But I feel like it would be a good way of growing the community and enriching all of our experiences. David says, I can set up a MySpace page. I bet you've got one already, David. Come on. Squirrels. It was about squirrels. Talahar says, Tom needs to see this game. Reddit is probably a good one to try to get into. Yeah. No, I agree with you, Jeff. I just feel like I fail on this front. I feel like I kind of like I want to do it, but then I think to have any credibility in any arena like that, you need to be someone who is part of the conversation. And for me, yeah, no, I hear you, David. For me, the strategy that works in social media, and I've used it across a number of things. So when I first started doing the maps, I used Twitter to get most of my clients. Okay, so I'd be directly contacting, but I would be in a discussion about stuff. I would be talking about maps. I would be giving examples, highlighting stuff, leaving comments because I was interested. Tom Anderson is the co-founder of MySpace and was always the first friend you had on there. Got ya, Talahar. And before I did that, that was successful as far as I was concerned. It worked really well. Before that, I used to do search engine optimization as one of the courses that I used to teach. So back before all the stuff that there is now. So good old classic optimization, tags, meta tags, image tags, making sure you're using the right amount of text, all these types of things that kind of. So I was kind of prepped already for social media to come along, and so I kind of used it. Send out links to the communities with orders and updates, and encourage sharing and contributions, etc. So, Starglider, that is a really good. That's a sound objective. So about 2 weeks ago, I sent out about 20 emails to people who had volunteered in the past about potentially sharing, wanting to be more involved, and it wasn't something that I prepped. So I hadn't said to anybody, right, I'm going to send you this stuff to do. It was more of an inquiry email. Do you have any social contacts where you might be able to share information? If I did a press release or a community release and sent it to people, would they be able to share that information in different areas? Now, a couple got back to me and said that they don't really do social media, which is absolutely fine. It was just like a fishing thing to see what people would think. And it's like you kind of hope that an ambassador would come forward. But the reality of it is the people that play these games, a lot of them are just not really too interested in the social media side of things. And I don't blame them, to be honest. But I had kind of hoped that maybe there would be people who were interested in forums or Reddit. Reddit is a forum. It's just the new form of forum. You've done great staying on top of Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, so that is my priority, Jeff. There's only so much time you can't spend all your time on socials. So having people to champion things for you is might be the best way. I think it is. And I've been holding this off. So you can kind of say, if you've made it this far in the video, then I'm kind of saying to people, if you're watching this back, if you want to be a champion, a social media champion for me, in one particular thing, so if it was Reddit, say for example, or you were on a forum on Board Game Geek, Board Game Geek's influential. People will often ask, what's your favourite game? If we have a BGG champion, they would be sort of on that and be kind of like, yeah, come on, check out this game. Now, I'm not saying that these people are just dropped in on parachutes to just suddenly jump in. I don't want that. I don't want people who are thinking, I want people who think, yeah, I want to help this out, but I want people who are already established. And if you're not established, it would be a good thing. It's a good policy anyway, if you're looking to boost the social presence of your game. If you're designing a game, or you've got a product, or you're a designer, or you make maps, or you write short stories, or whatever, a good policy is to get in there and just feel the vibe, chat to people, get known, and then they will see that you're interested in this area, and they will be interested in what you have to say. It's that simple. People just drop in somewhere and knock on a door and say, I'm coming to the party, but you weren't bloody invited. This is it. If you hear what I'm saying. Dave said, I'm not sure if it's possible with your business model, but my go-to place for searching for books and games is Amazon. Let's go for Amazon store. That is a really good question, David. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll talk about that now. So we've thought long and hard about our approach to selling 2D6 Dungeon, and we have decided to keep it in one place, our online shop. That's where we want to sell it. Physical copies. Digital we sell on a number of platforms. And the reason is, shipping stuff is bloody expensive, and we just lose too much percentage by shipping books out to companies, whether they're small distributors or large distributors. We lose money by doing that. As it happens, we're lucky enough for our presence to have grown to a big enough thing that where people know where to come now, and they will find it if they search it online. So we can do that. I can understand why small companies can't do it, because they won't necessarily have an online presence, but we do, and our shop does, and we sell hundreds of pounds of goods every week from our store. So we've made the decision. So Amazon isn't an option because they take about 30% of your sales. It's ridiculous. So we can't afford to do it through Amazon. But we do have some other products which don't sell on our store. For example, our role-play books. And we've been thinking about the function of those books. I mean, they were done a couple of years ago now, a few years ago. And I used to write role-play books. And I feel like those products could sell on Amazon. So one of our things this year is to try and get my Infested Buildings 5e products onto Amazon to see whether they will sell through that platform. So expand out the business that way. And we have some smaller games. And I would like to produce some smaller games that we want to try and sell on Etsy. But we won't be selling 2D6 Dungeon on Etsy. It is a product that we feel is exclusive to our shop for the moment. That's how in 2026 we're moving forward. And it has worked really well so far. And it does break my heart when a few small suppliers want copies. But it really has been of no benefit to us to do that. So I hate to say it. So we just sell those products from our shop. Paul says, describing your creative process without giving spoilers is tough. Then there's a dancing centipede problem. If you focus on how you do something, you may hinder the process of actually doing it. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty good at isolating. I'm pretty much come up with an idea, do some of it, think about it, do some of it, think about it. I'm pretty good. I can balance it out. I mean, if you guys ask me any questions about the creative process, I'm more than happy to answer them. But you can. I mean, look, I will develop games. Like I was developing the miniatures game, and I did a lot of the rules, and I paused it, and it's on pause at the moment. That was from year and a half ago, so that's sitting in the drawer. Alien Sanctuary, I wrote it, designed it, and then I redesigned it again, and then it came out, but there was a pause in between. Dark Morozina says, I use Board Game Geek whenever I'm researching a game, but I don't really interact on there much. Now, Dark Morozina. So you have a presence, and do you follow some of the different games? So when they get an update, you get a notification. If that's the case, when you get that come up, and you can leave a note, this looks really interesting, I love the way the figures look, or whatever. That is you then developing your interaction with it. Now, I'm not saying you can then take that and say, if there's a forum post, or you're following a blogger and they're talking about games, and they say, has anybody got any suggestions? You could then put in there 2D6 Dungeon, for example. That would be completely up to you, but it's interesting. You may find it interesting if you upped the interaction a little bit. I'm not saying do. I'm just saying you might find it interesting, because I certainly do. I throw a few comments in here and there, and I respond to a few things, and I feel like I'm kind of helping these people by adding comments to what they do. You just reminded me, I need to take that 5e module I bought over to my friend Abby on Saturday. She's in a 5e group that play online, and they want to run it after I told her about. Oh, nice. Oh, thanks, David. I follow a few of my favourites on there, yeah. And, you know, this would be it would be a slow build-up strategy if someone was to become a social media champion. And the thing would be as well, if you were to, if we had a social media champion, you would want them to promote the campaign, but you wouldn't want them to do it too much. You don't want someone shouting about something. You want someone talking calmly about something. And it would just basically time it with the occasional post that I would send to these social media champions that they would then disseminate amongst the ranks. This is just an idea I've had, and I'm also just intrigued to see how these types of things work and whether they would work. David says, I also promised her the base game and cards for her birthday, so I'll be hitting the store later. So, and that little message there, David, makes me remember I was going to ask you why, and this isn't any sort of criticism, why you write "and" instead of "and" in your messages. Is it like it's a little signature thing, isn't it? Jeff says, currently I mainly follow the Buffalo Bills Reddit, but don't participate. I'll look for some solo gaming or RPG forums to Reddit and see if I can start contributing. Jeff, man, honestly, you don't have to do that, Jeff. There's no one that works harder than you do already, my friend. And I can't ask anything more of you. Honestly, please. You just do an amazing job, and I appreciate it. I've got like some key core guys. Jeff, you just stay. You're doing perfect. You know. So please, the last thing I want is it to become a burden for anybody. And I know that people say it wouldn't do, but suddenly you may hit some things may happen. You may think, oh God, I got to do that, and suddenly you're like, oh, this is too much. You know. So, yeah, no, there's some great guys. People do different things for the dungeon, and you know, I'm eternally grateful for just feedback. I always say to people that the easiest thing you can do for any company is give them some nice feedback on a forum, positive stuff, you know. On a review or on a product. You have the power. People have the power. People watching this video back, if you've got this far in the video, you have the power to make someone's day just by leaving them a nice 5-star review. They'll be happy for a week, you know. It's an amazing thing. People don't realise. And to be honest, it's a click. We have a click-through society where you go somewhere, you click on it and you buy it and that's it. I do it, although I do think about it, and I do leave some reviews or I leave some comments, because I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, if I was in their shoes, what would I want? I'd want a little bit of feedback, you know. And we're all too easy to we're all too easy to jump on criticism if something's bad, it doesn't work. Well, we live in a society where people, they really enjoy something, don't necessarily tell people about it. Necessarily, I'm not saying people don't, but it's easy not to. This right. I've had to go through all the tables I wrote and corrected that very mistake after Tabletop Wonder pointed it out. I can't believe 2 people had pointed it out in the same day. Crazy. Well, I was thinking about your publishing, that kind of come into the thought process. I don't even realise there was a 26 Dungeon Reddit. We need to link it to feed. Well, okay. I hear. Right, we don't do any cross-linking. It's a big mistake. Because what happens is, if you cross-link the platforms, you get a lot of feed that you can't interact with so much. It just fills it up. We keep Facebook, and Redbook, and Reddit, and they just exist in their own right. Okay, we don't connect them. There's nothing worse than linking it too overly, and that's just how I've always done it. This sort of thing happened right back at the beginning when social media was being set up and all these groups were going. They discovered a way of feeding into other platforms. I just saw it destroy things when I was working back in that. Yeah, no, sorry, Jeff. I like your thinking though. It's good. That's good, powerful thinking. I found out about Toots Under by watching a year-old video on Man Alone YouTube channel and teasing about it. He's so cool. I love Man Alone. He's just like, I love his accent, clearly, but I also like the fact that he's a bit quirky. I love his little table set up, and I like his sense of humour. He's honest, and he doesn't. He's got a refreshing approach, and we need that, and so he's fantastic. Do you have all the links on the DR Games website? We do have some links, you're right. There is we're a little bit lazy with the website at the moment. We need to spend, I said to Joe a couple of days ago that I need to redo the text on the website. And there's been a few squishing images going on in certain places. So the actual store looks fine, but some of the content needs to be updated. And yeah, listen on YouTube. I'm loving all this discussion, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you trying to come up with ideas for me. I do. I think it's important to sort of state as well that I don't approach this with an idea in my mind of spam, or just doing it for advertising's sake. I'm doing it because I want to share a game that a lot of people enjoy. If I felt like this was a product that wasn't being successful and I was trying to force a success, it wouldn't be the right thing. I wouldn't feel good doing that. And I have to work. I know it probably sounds a bit corny, but I have to work from a place of honesty. And the fact that people enjoy playing the game, it makes me want to share people's enjoyment with people. And I kind of feel like that's where I want to be. I want that to be and ride that wave, that wave of appreciation while it's there. Because although I feel like 2D6 Dungeon is evergreen, in the sense that dungeon delvers are, there's an eternal reverence for the dungeon delve, isn't there? It's started in, well, it's been a thing of it's appeared in many things. It's appeared in films, it's appeared in games, it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's people just love it. Nigel Amble. Oh, Nigel, I don't know why you can't post. Oh, Nige. I know, and I love your maps. There must be. I don't know what the situation is with that. I unfortunately don't have technical support. Why would that be? I can't figure out why that can't be. Do you have you must have a YouTube account. Are you logged in, Nigel? Maybe you should ask Chat PD, you know the one I mean, and just run it through with chat and see whether they can come up with a solution. There may be some things you can tick or boxes you can untick. Maybe I should go comment on Manline's video and perhaps name drop 2d6 Void whilst I'm there, lol. Well, I mean, that is completely up to you, Dark Morosina. But you can see what I'm saying. It's kind of like, I'm sure that other people have this approach. You know, I'm just not a cutthroat person. I think it's part of the design brain, or the artist brain. It's not necessarily a hard seller. Now the irony is I have been trained to sell. You know, but it isn't necessarily great instinct. What is instinct for me is to share creativity, to share people's enjoyment, and so hopefully that is a good policy, and hopefully that kind of comes through. Sometimes I'm a bit effusive and I'm a bit over the top, and I hope it doesn't put people off. Because, but you know, I look round and, you know, we're very lucky. I don't want to get too deep or anything, but we're lucky as a species. We can make things up, and we're creative, and we can create other worlds, and we can enjoy that. I think that's a wonderful thing to have. Is he blocked somehow? David says no. It's definitely a challenge. Thanks, Dark Morosina. That's very kind of you. Yeah, it is. I'm really lucky. There are a number of amazing YouTubers, and it's funny because I watch his stuff just for my own entertainment anyway. But over the last few years, watching the solo RPG YouTube community grow has been fascinating, and there are certain people that are pillars like Daniel at Dungeon Dive and Deborah at Geek Gamers, and Paul at Lone Adventurer, and Man Alone, and all those guys. They've grown, and they've stuck around, and they've got a good hardcore following, and they've all covered my games, which is this is a big reason why I'm still here doing it, you know. And I hopefully I can hopefully it comes across that I'm appreciative that they've looked at the games. I mean, and you kind of feel like this could change everything sometimes when you get a good game review on a YouTube channel. I had a massive review on a couple of months back on a board gaming channel that gets like 50,000 views on a video, and they do board games, and they'd done my solo player game just randomly, my little role play done 2d6 Dungeon in amongst all these big box games they were doing, and I was like, wow. and it made a huge difference. And you know, I'm just like, wow. So it is an amazing thing. Well, hopefully Daniel backed it. I mean, I try not to chase this. I'm not one of these people. I'm not a pushy person. I don't go and say, Daniel, do this, because he's a great guy. He does great stuff, and I don't need to tell him what to do. Hopefully, he sees my stuff, and he generally does see my stuff. And you know, we were on that panel together fairly recently, so that was nice. And did Nigel? Hang on. Are you saying Nigel's in? I see you, Nigel. Apparently, we just needed to talk about it magically worked. It's Nigel in. It's Nigel in. Yeah. So no, there's some awesome guys. An amazing thing. I mean, this is the thing. So YouTube, I couldn't ask more from YouTube. It's been such a beneficial thing. I get to talk to you guys. I get to get some feedback. Some of the feedback has been amazing over the years. It's years now. And I get to outreach to people. Hundreds of people watch my videos. And it's a bit of a focus each week. You know, people get to know me a bit. I'm a bit crazy. I don't see Nigel, says... Oh, David's on with Nigel on Messenger. Well done, David. We want Nigel. We want Nigel. Yeah. No, so yeah, it's been a ride. So we're going into 2026 now. I have previously talked about a couple of things. I wanted to do that video on the results from the survey. So I am still going to try and do that. I don't think it's going to matter too much if that takes me some time to try and decide the format. The format may be a new format for me where I just do a voiceover and some images. And I think I'm better in a more kind of casual chatting type situation, like these streams, rather than talking directly to screen so much. I don't know. And I want to do a roadmap, but the roadmap will be slightly different this year. I think I'm just going to talk a bit about the projects that I realistically want to get done. So there's two main projects, and then there's Wild West Marshall. So Wild West Marshall and Hunter Herder, which is another smaller game, which is largely done. And I want to get that done soon. But as I say, Pirate at the moment is going to get level 1 of the Void done and ready for testing, so people can get in there and test it. Then I will release Hunter Herder, which you will find out more about in the next week or two. And Wild West Marshall as well will probably be a few weeks away yet, but because we want to be testing Void first. Right, well, updates on Nigel. I can see Nigel's comments. Hi Nigel, welcome. I can't see Nigel's comments. What is going on? Paul says, speaking of sharing your creative process, what is the hardest part of finishing level 1 of Void? Is keeping balance an issue you worry about at this stage? Very much so. It's very much one of these things. Good question, Paul. It's very much one of these things where if I can get that done now, it saves so much hassle. If I send something out to testers and it's heavily skewed, I get a whole bunch of stuff back from them that doesn't kind of make sense. The more focused it is, the better the feedback. Because we're fine-tuning to a certain extent. We don't want people having to take the engine apart. You know, we just... I like it fine-tuned. And then... what's the hardest part about finishing? Judging how much time it's going to take me to put the tables into their... put the words into the tables, the text into the tables. And... I mean, I work in a pretty barbaric way. I mean, I think. So this is a sheet I have. And on here, I have a list of tables, things that I want them to do, like improvising devices, cracking codes, fixing machines. I want to try and get 3 side quests in. We've got 4 side quests in. I want to make sure there's alien artifacts. Substances that I need to make sure you can find. Things like servo grease, sticky glue, black oil, contaminated sludge. Then list of tables, the different types of aliens. So I've got it all in front of me. I'm quite a visual person, so it's there, and I'm referring to it all the time, trying to make sure I get it in. And then once I've laid the tables out, I'll do a search, and it will come back. So I'll make a search. How many times have I used this table? I'll search the table name in the Word doc, and David says he's using Excel. Well, I use Word. I'm using Publisher as well. And Publisher apparently is retiring in October, so I'm panicking already because I'm very comfortable using Publisher for my layouts. So I'm going to have to move to another program, which is annoying. Very annoying. So, what's the hardest part of finishing level 1 of Void? It's just pushing through the final bits of the tables. You know, just that basically. I think the balance will come because I've carefully planned out what I want to put in there, and that I then include that in the tables. And then Jeff, who's very good at spotting, Toby, you didn't mention this enough. Then I'm like, thanks, Jeff, and I will go put that in. Or you referenced a table here that you've got a table here you've only referenced once. Stupid idiot. And I'll then try and find ways of working that into the thing. Hang on here. Hang on. Speaking of sharing, Nigel, I see messages from both your PC and phone. I wonder if it's individual chat settings not showing all messages in the chat. I think the problem with Nigel's visibility, says Talahar, is the difference between live chat and top chat. Above the chat window, there's a drop-down menu where you can switch. In top chat, Nigel is not visible. Oh my god. Oh my god. I've just clicked it. Ah. Talahar, you're some sort of genius. I had it on top chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Nigel! Hello! Okay, I've done my part. Comment. Oh yeah, right. So all above that. Oh my god! And oh my god! I apologise for anybody whose messages I've missed. Oh my dear Lord! So it's clear to me that I have missed Rob's messages. Rob, why? I was seeing your messages last time, but then they've just popped up again. Hello, Nigel. Wow. Wow, why would they do that? Ah. Yes, Nigel, I can see your messages. Right, so there's a little drop down you click on, and it then says two things. It says top messages. Show most messages with potential spam removed, and then all messages. Show every message including potential spam. And I have missed a message from Kirill. I discovered your work, Toby, from playing League of Dungeoneers and following the designer's YouTube channel. How would that be? Kirill, how are you doing? Man, maybe that's because there was included some sort of... Kirill, I missed you. Nigel. Right, that's crazy. That's crazy. Right, I'm going to make sure I do that from now on. It's bonkers. Thank you, Talahar. I don't think I've missed too many messages. I've missed Kirill's. Kirill's a good guy. Right. Whew. That's a bit of a revelation. Yeah, so the week ahead, next week, as I say, so tomorrow working hard on the tables. Funnily enough, it's number 3's daughter, number 2 daughter's birthday tomorrow. So we are going to spend some time with her. Yes, we all need to switch from top chat to live chat from now on, or there will be much confusion indeed. Kirill, missed a lot of the streams live, but good to be back tonight. Good to have you here, Kirill. So, yeah. So I'm going to be working hard on the tables. Jeff, Mark, I'm going to send through some text for you to have a look at. If anybody else wants to look at some raw text, let me know. And I'll send you through some bits and pieces to read if you want to do a little bit of proofreading. It's perfectly fine if you fancy that. And daughter's birthday tomorrow. She is the most amazing daughter. I'm a very lucky man. And she's turning 18. So that is huge. And yeah, so that's great. So that is our last child becoming an adult. No, David, that was daughter number 1. So I've got a 22-year-old daughter, a 20 nearly 21-year-old son, and an 18-year-old daughter. So they are wonderful, wonderful children. Yeah. And then I'm just going to plow on, and so we're going to get some big cool shout outs in the week. Hopefully we're going to have things to look at, and yeah, exciting times. Then hopefully we'll start to see some maps, some chamfered maps appearing on the Facebook page. That's the plan. We can spread that. You should be proud. She took my money before you even saw I was there, lol. Yeah. That is she's good at that. Does it bother her to be referred to as number 2? No. It's a little thing I do. She's number 3 actually. So yeah. Yeah, I call my children 1, 2, and 3. It's just a term of endearment. I'm ready for space maps, says Talahar. Fantastic. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Be interested to see that as they're drawn, whether there's any things that I need to add to the book regarding how to draw. I've added in there like you need to chamfer corners and stuff like that, but maybe we can, maybe for doors there is a little thing you can add for doors as well actually. We'll see how it goes. Tips on drawing space maps. I've drawn some pretty intense space maps over the years. Yeah, I don't have any favourites. They would disagree with me. I think the youngest is generally viewed as the favourite, though, aren't they? Generally, I mean, usually, I don't know. The eldest tends to get on with their own stuff. The last baby you cling on to, you know, the final one. The youngest. I don't know. Yeah. So, and I will be. So yeah. So that's where we're going. And I don't think I've got. No, I do have one thing on Saturday, which is going to knock out most of the day. So I'm going to lose a day's work. So I usually work through Saturdays, but we are going on a pub crawl so number 2 is going to be 21 and number 3 is going to be 18, and one of my nephews is going to be 18 as well. So we're going out, all the families. It's about 25 of us, and we're going to be going out and going on a pub crawl type party type thing, and then on Monday night we're going to go out for a meal. So yeah. Oh, I see. Yes, my favourite number 2. Well, it's with my son. It's easy. I can just say it's my favourite son, my only son. Yeah. No, yeah. So that's the week ahead. That is the kind of just knuckle down and get as much done as possible. And yeah. I'm just excited to get this out, and I want to just draw the maps, and we're going to do some play testing, and hopefully I'll be able to play test this next week. Better get it out. Do some play testing like the good old days. And yeah, we'll get there. Dartmouth says, I tell my daughter she's my fave, and she reminds me she's my only child, lol. Well, it doesn't change the fact, does it? You'd say to her, it's the truth. Or you could say on another day when it's not so good, you're not my favourite today. Yes, I'm looking forward to doing the play. I'm looking forward to doing the play tests on stream. It'd be good. Yeah, she's Dartmouth. She may say, "But I'm your only daughter. I have to be your favourite." Not today. Oh, we all know those days. Anyhow, you guys are lovely. I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to love you and leave you. She's 18 this year too. Still my baby, I know. Oh. I love seeing my kids grow up, but my youngest will always be my baby. You know, it's just how it is. I think it's just, that is just it. You just do. I think your youngest is. I'll await the stuff. Yes, speak soon. See ya. Yes, Mark, thank you. And I'm going to send some stuff through to you tomorrow. Okay. I'm so looking forward to finally playing Void. Been hyped for this. Exactly, Talahar. I can't wait to see your maps. Good night, Matt. Can't wait to see the rules and level 1 of Void. David, it's coming. It's coming. It's definitely coming very soon. I want to make sure when I send it out to you guys, you don't have to wrestle with the errors, and you can just play, if you get what I'm saying. Thanks, Jeff. Good night, Jeff. Good night, David. Take care, guys. I will see you all very